Yeah.
Cool. Alright guys, welcome to Chatting Shit. I'm Jay, Ginger Ninja, standing in for Matthew Brewer. I've got 3 amazing guests on today. I'm buzzing. I've got my main man, PhiliJimBob, my slow bro and my fellow factioner. We've got Leander, who's a fellow Bondsley lover. And then I've got probably my favourite content creator and honoured to have you on is Chris, or Rise to the Occasion. And Phil is going to tell me off because I said I wasn't going to fangirl too much. But yeah, I'm buzzing to have you all here, guys. So nice one for coming on. How are we all?
Doing well. Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Cool. Same here.
Nice one. Cool. So everyone have a good Brawler Cup, doing well for everyone.
Yeah. I was like complaining to my teammates how I started, because I started 4-3, which I was disappointed with, and then a 5-2, which is like, okay, I'll take a 5-2, but not ideal. So I was worried about getting a 6-1. Yeah, that's kind of like my goal every month, is to at least get a 6-1 weighted. Yeah. And I ended up going 6-1, 6-1, and I didn't weight either of them because I currently have a 6-0 that I'm playing my game tomorrow for a potential 7-0. So it'll come down to that. I could have weighted 2 6-1s, and I'm like, no, I'm going for it. Go big or go home.
Nice. That's in gym, isn't it? Is it gym?
Yeah. It is.
Good man. Oh, good luck. I mean, I sort of hope I've got my battle tomorrow, and if I win that, I'm 6-1. So I'm hoping you lose if I win that, to be honest.
Yeah, it makes sense. Get that platinum.
But I have already weighted a 5-0, so don't worry about it. I won't hold it against you. Well, Phil is having camera issues.
Yeah, his camera was frozen the last few minutes.
Also, I think my spice score on Silph from this cup alone has like quadrupled, because it was like only 9 after the first month, and now it's like 36 because I'm running Shadow Magnezone in all my teams.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, nice. I mean, I'm on a spice score of 69 currently.
Oh my gosh,
that's nice.
I mean, you gotta love it. I love it. What a number. But yeah, cool. So any just initial thoughts on this current glacial meta then that we're going to talk about today? I know that we're PB Pokeless, we've had to sort of customize it ourselves, but which has been fun. But
I think it's like at the first look it looks like very decent, because it's not too many like straight hardcore things, and it's like ice types is it basically just looks like an ice water meta with some darks involved in it, and I think on the first look it definitely looks very decent, with a lot of flexibility to build your teams, because there are so many viable like ice types that have different roles, for example.
Yeah, and of course, Dragon being one of the typings, straight away you're thinking, right, okay, what furries can I bring? What steel types can I bring? And the ice types, some of them don't even beat the dragons. I like it. It's good old-fashioned Silph.
Yeah,
I like it too. One thing when I started looking at it that jumped out to me was there's pretty much no counter users in a dark ice steel sort of type meta, and I think Haxorus is like the only counter user, and very few people have a Great League Haxorus.
Rob would be happy.
Yeah, so and Haxorus is just so insanely glassy that, like, with all the ice users, I mean, you're probably gonna get like powder snowed down. So
yeah, and you've got Alakazam as well as a counter user, but again, glassy as hell.
Right, yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think me and Phil know someone that's looking at using Haxorus in our faction.
He was very, very lucky. He was very lucky to actually get a decent Great League IV. Well, not IV, but
like
low enough level.
A wild spawn. I don't think I've ever had a wild Axew spawn as well, which is...
I had one actually, very luckily, pretty close to me.
Nice. So yeah, on the lookout now because I definitely want to try and use Haxus just for the giggles, really. All right, cool. So yeah, I mean, I think for me myself, I'm just, you know, I meta where ice is good, like, or has the potential to be good. Like, there's a few Pokemon in there that I really want to use, like Glalie. I think that could be a pretty cool one, but it's too early to tell. I haven't done enough testing yet. But we'll get straight into it. So our first Pokemon is going to be talked and represented by Ieandrooo. So do you want to take it away, mate, and tell us what you're going to talk about?
Yeah, so when I looked at the meta, the first thing that immediately stand out to me was actually Malamar, because I noticed there's barely anything with fighting. Malamar has superpower, also added with cycle cut, so it's like a 10 turn superpower and after 8 turn superpower. And so basically with it you can hopefully get shield advantage very early on against the ice types, like, because superpower still chunks a lot. Despite not being step, it's a very good move stats wise, which is obviously why it has these debuff effects. And Malamar has usually around 120 attacks, so it doesn't hit too little, and that's why it probably also has a very high save switch potential, because I don't think, is there anything that resists both moves from it? From first of all, I don't actually think there's anything that resists dark and fighting. Because even against the dark poison, it hits still can hit neutral back. Yeah. So I definitely think Malamar will have a pretty interesting role in this meta, because it's so versatile and also very fast. So you lose your counts very quickly with like foul placed superpowers being thrown, as they have different energy. Yeah. And yeah, that's why I picked Malamar right away.
Cool, yeah. I had a lot of fun with Malamar in Brawler. And just like you were saying there, people just lose their count so quickly with you throwing your foul plays and the superpowers or whatever. They just don't expect you to be at the move.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I used it more as a lead, and like I'd take a shield and then dip out with a little bit of energy on it, and then use it again in the later games, because you just run away with it with the energy. I found it a really fun Pokemon to use.
Yeah, I did fight a Malamar in Aero Draft League, and it's really difficult to deal with on the swap. You have to like have a plan going in. Like if you're just kind of casually like starting this cup and someone has a Malamar and they're like, okay, you're like, okay, they got a Malamar. Like, you gotta come with a plan if they save swap it, because if you're not like prepared for that and they save swap, you're like, oh, what do I come into here? Oh, I'm gonna come into this, and they've got 4 psycho cuts. Like, they're gonna take switchback or something, or grab shields.
Yeah, even 2 or 3 psycho cuts, like, you know, it's still, because the psycho cut is just a quick charge and move. It's like, it's still dangerous. Like,
and also, like if Malamar, you can probably get shield advantage quite quickly, and with like all these closers in this cup, like mainly looking at Frostless, like every strip player Frost is allowed, give Frostless the shield advantage, and the backline is in trouble. And I think Malamar can just do the perfect setups in this meta.
Yeah,
I think you've also got people who are just going to go Hypno again, aren't they? Because Psychic's just brilliant. Yes. So being able to pick up Hypno resistance as well, I really like that.
Triple resistance, actually.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's cool when a Pokemon, like, it can be used in different roles. So like Malamar can be your safe swap. It could also be like your hard counter to Hypno.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
Fuck Hypno. Yeah, cool. I mean, and you've got Hyper Beam as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
It does. Oh my god.
I mean, it's not the move to use, I don't think.
Probably, but it'd be fun for like a Spice Cup.
Yeah. got the option.
But yeah.
No, you want foul play for Hypno. You want superpower for your ice types.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, bread and butter. It's lovely.
If you want just consistency, that's definitely moves to go. If you just want to have more fun, probably, and just hyper beam everything. So yeah.
Yeah, like hyper beam a Drapion or something that won't shield.
Yeah, it's definitely not shielded. Yeah, and I think the only downside I had with the Malamar, but I still I enjoyed using it, and I'm probably gonna have a team with it this month as well. Was it just sort of just didn't get me over the line sometimes, against in the last meta it was Coffin and Sableye. And
yeah.
I feel like even against Frostlass in this meta, it's gonna. I just don't think it just doesn't hit hard enough. And it's so you definitely need. That's where you need.
Can't really tank any neutral moves either, can it? It's pretty squishy, isn't it?
It's not too bad. No, it's not too bad. It's just
let me check. It has a 1922 set product at rank 1. For example, in comparison, LoL 9 has only a bit more. It has
it's not.
It's 1980. So it's a little less bulky than A9.
Yeah.
But I think it's still fairly decent bulky. That it's not squishy, I'd say, but also not bulky, yes, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not a tank, but it's not squishy. But yeah, you just need to avoid the bugs, which there isn't too many around.
Non-existent Beedrill. Who's going to be bonkers bringing Beedrill here?
Is that an open invitation or?
I think we both know somebody who would definitely run Beedrill. He loves Beedrill.
Oh yeah, Mr. Ieandrooo.
Yeah,
definitely. And he'll make it work. He'll make anything work, that man.
I was looking at Beedrill a little bit just because, the top 2 ranked Pokemon, Abomasnow and Zweilous, it has a pretty good matchup against. And then you can hit back with Drill Run against things that hard counter it, like Sandslash or Bronzong or Jirachi.
And Polion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've quickly looked at Beedrill as well, because I was wondering whether to thought about it, but and I think there's an argument for double nuke on it for Drill Run Sludge Bomb, and I know the X Scissor or even Fell Sting if you want to be that way.
Yeah, it's just a horrendously bad move.
Yeah, but I think Drill Run Sludge Bomb could be an interesting moveset to go with. I don't think anyone would expect it really. That's the main.
They will now. They will now. You've put it out in the ether now, Jay.
Yeah. Shit.
It's common knowledge now.
You need to start giving all your secrets away. All right, cool. Any more thoughts on Malamar?
What's going to beat it besides Beedrill?
Not a lot. Straight away, straight up. If I go through the rankings, maybe Drapion, because it resists foul play and superpower degauss you, and it's only neutral without step. Other than that,
looks like Zweilous has a pretty comfortable matchup because
probably
it can take a superpower. Looks like a superpower does a little less than 70%.
Yeah, 65.
And then the Psycho Cuts obviously don't do anything. So Zwei seems like it has a pretty comfortable matchup.
And that's where I was saying about, I think maybe the switching aspect, depending on, I suppose it depends on the team comp you're coming up against, but I think being able to drop a superpower and then dip rather than switching yourself in, and then if you're switched in against the Drapion and there's no point in you throwing foul plays. If you're not switched in against it, if you've led, at least you can drop.
If you look at sorry.
So at least you can use it and dip. So.
Yeah, if you look with Malamar against Zweilous, technically it loses the zero shield if Zweilous lands the Dark Pulse, but if it goes to Body Slam, Malamar wins 0 shield, and if it shields the Dark Pulse, Malamar wins the 1 shield. So it definitely has a lot of plays to against Spiders.
Yeah, and to be fair, some people might look at the typing and just think, oh, Body Slam, because it might just see the dark typing.
Yeah, but potentially, definitely.
Also, with a 2 Psycho Cut head start, Malamar wins the 0s against Swilus.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, no, I think it's a good pick.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also, and
Safe.
Swilus. Yeah, it's
Right, so that's picking on one side. Everyone 6 has that, right?
Yeah. Cool. And then is everyone 6 gonna have this one, Phil?
Who's next? Because I missed that before with me having tech issues. Is it me? All right, okay. So the dumb face Pokemon, or whatever you want to call it, Quagsire. Yeah, that guy. There's elements of Tempest Cup that scream out at me here, because it was when Altaria was big and Silph was just about starting, and everyone had an Altaria and people were using ice types and Lapras was everywhere, and but yeah, I feel like how popular is grass going to be? If people are going to run grass, it's going to be a Abomasnow rather than Venusaur.
Sure.
At least you can hit back with a Stone Edge. I just think it's very versatile. It's always been versatile. Usually a closer when shields are down. Now you've got the Shadow option. It's going to be even more oppressive. Yeah, everyone's going to be shielding an Earthquake or a Stone Edge. Yeah. Do we think a Bomber's going to be everywhere? Without a counter user, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That was my only concern. So if we can avoid a Abomasnow, I think we're laughing. But I think it's a versatile pick. Obviously, you've got a rock typing charge move as well as a ground typing charge move, and that pretty much hits everything, if not super effective, at least neutral. So I think it's a good solid Swiss Army knife, which I like for my team building. Yeah, Abomasnow, I'm sure we can play around with that.
Yeah,
I mean,
also
to add that, I mean, Abomasnow is like basically the only viable grass type. Yes, there's Shadow Wig, Shadow Vileplume, the Shadow Razor Leaf that maybe 1 or 2 will play. But
degenerates.
Yeah, but other than
those degenerates who play Charm, isn't that right, Jay?
It's generally just
quick attack.
It's just a Abomasnow or like something like Raichu with Grass Knot to surprise you, but then again you resist like all the quick moves and such, and his like super effective. Or if some meta is running Grass Knot you. So I think the what's the Crown Water, the Mud Boy typing is definitely very strong, very promising.
Yeah,
I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think I do like that pick a lot, Quagsire. I've been running it in Brawler Cup a lot because, kind of for the same reason you point out here, is there's very few grass types. So Quagsire roams free against a lot of teams, and it's amazing in the 0 shield. It's against a lot of teams. It's gonna win the 0 shield against pretty much everything. And with some of those steel types, like people are definitely gonna be bringing Jirachi and Bronzong, some teams, as like hard counters to Abomasnow, and then Quagsire can do really well against those.
Yeah,
I agree. So I know it's a bit of a tangent this, but you mentioned Jirachi and Bronzong. Yes, to beat Hypno and what else? Abomasnow. So not Empoleon, not Sandslash.
I think Empoleon looks really good. Yeah, I mean, look at like the top 10. Like it does fine against the top 2 of Abomasnow and Swilus. Those are like close matchups. Bronzong, Sandslash, Celio, Jirachi, Dugong, like Beedrill, Frostlass, Lapras. It just keeps going. Like Empoleon looks really good.
Yeah,
I think also will probably be the most used Pokemon at the start of the cup. before people find out a way how to beat it, because there won't be many ways. Maybe something like Whiscash, but or like probably just generally need a Mud Boy to beat it. Or like Malamar can also beat it with superpower, but it's also not the nice special because of the waterfall damage. So definitely very strong.
I know we're going back to Malamar.
Oh, you're breaking off there, lad.
I like the
And he's gone.
risk
Yeah.
with the potentially bait in a fair play.
You've
And then two
frozen, Phil.
Yeah, I mean, but still, like with Quagsire, it's definitely like. I mean, opponent matchup actually isn't the best one, but opponent is forced to shield everything basically because calling the Stone Edge is a very risky call, and you can go. Actually, I believe triple Stone Edge in the 2-shield because of the Mudshot damage. So it's very safe to bait, and you also usually outpace over time. Because you need 60 for the first and 14 for the next two, while opponent always needs at least 15.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's it.
so yeah.
I like
Or like 16 and 14 for the Earthquakes. And always one less for the Stone Edge. Like 7-6 split for Stone Edge.
Yeah.
I believe because Quagsire was in Prismatic Cup, very common, and I had Empoleon in my team in Prismatic Cup, which is why I'm still pretty familiar with that matchup.
Cool, so you can...
Mud Boys were good in Prismatic, weren't they?
So just to clarify, are you saying in the 2s, Quagsire can just go straight Stone Edge against Empoleon?
I think. Yep. It does win straight Stone Edge and 2-shield.
Brilliant.
It also wins double Stone Edge in the 1-shield actually with good IVs. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's squishing Great League, isn't it, Pingu?
Yeah, Empoleon it doesn't like getting hit.
Yeah, I mean, so I know. So as you going on about Quagsire, so in a previous chat and shit this series, we've had Seismitoad been spoken about. So why Quag over Seismitoad, and also why Quag over Whiscash? Because Whiscash is like obviously another decent one.
My first inkling feels like Stone Edge is probably better.
Yes.
Just I know Mud Bomb's pacier, but I just feel like the ones where you're gonna need Blizzard, it causes me anxiety, the fact that I would have to play a bait game with it, and just I'm never comfortable in the Altaria Whiscash matchup. I just feel Stone Edge suits me.
Against what bots finals do you even want Blizzard?
I don't know.
Like,
so what size Sword got? Earth Power and what? Sludge?
Sludge Bomb.
Was it Sludge Bomb?
Yeah.
And
Muddy
Muddy Water. Yeah, but no.
So sorry to Seismitoad advocate.
No, that's fine. I mean, I'm not.
Whiscash maybe. I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't hit hard enough. Whereas Quag's terrifying. Just Stone Edge, or Earthquake. For the role that I want it to fit, I feel that Swiss Army knife of causing terror.
Yeah, and I mean, if you get your Quagsire with a shield advantage or in a 1-0 shield, it basically can sweep through everything in the meta, because it hits so many things super effective, and even the neutral Earthquakes just chunk down way too much.
Yeah. That's been a strategy for me this month with Quag, running it again for like all the Talonflames and Brawler and stuff. Is like, sometimes I'll have the Vigoroth mirror, and I'll like purposely not shield and try and leave their Vigoroth in like Mudshot downrange.
Yeah,
then Mudshot down with Quag, and once the counter user is done, usually it's got play against the rest of the team. So yeah, I like Quag a lot. It also is a nice response because there's certainly going to be some people using those like Poison Dark types as a safe swap, like Break Beyond, a Grimer, Skuntank. So Quag a nice response to those where you're either going to get like both shields or get switchback.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. I like it. Sam, anything else on Quag?
No, apologies for any technical difficulties that just occurred there. I've hotspotted my phone. Wi-Fi's been turned off. I'm now currently on 4G.
Well, it's working now, so it's fine.
Also, I mean, one thing I really like about Quagsire in comparison to all other mud boys is it can hit the only viable grass types super effective as a mud boy, and that's in my opinion very big.
Also, Hot Pocket would be happy with your choice.
Nice. I'm not talking to Hot Pocket after gym breakers.
At least you got one off him.
Yeah. I mean, I had 0 plays, but it's fine. Anyway, we're not going there. Cool. So moving on from Quagsire onto my pick. I don't think anyone else has said the Pokedex number yet. Did you say yours, Phil?
Do you know what? Dan would be absolutely fuming.
I think you were too busy doing a fucking impression, but it's fine. So my one is Pokedex number 502, because I love Dan. And it's Dewott, pure water. It's a little spammy bugger. And I mean, it's probably going to be shit, but we're on chatting shit. I mean, I have used it a bit in previous cups, and I've used it a little bit in practice now, and it's just really niche. What, Phil?
Has it got Night Slash?
No.
Access Aqua Tail and Water Pulse with Fury Cutter.
See, this guy knows, because he knows it's boss, that's why. So yeah, that's exactly took the words out of my mouth. So, but yeah, it's just spammy, it's dead niche. It picks up some really interesting wins, I think. And yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one to try and dance around and make it work. And I think I'll be able to do it. I tend to be able to make silly things work. Like in the ones, like I've got a little list here because I was like, what's it beating the ones? This wasn't deliberate either because of what you guys had picked, but it beats Malamar in the ones.
Yeah, pretty badly in everything.
It beats my main boy Crawdaunt. It beats Snowy Castform. It beats Alolan Muck, Drapion, Glalie, Alolan Sandslash, and Celio. And then if you add another shield on top of that, it'll pick up a Abomasnow, both normal and shadow, Mew, Rainy Castform, Lapras, Zweilous, Alolan Grimer, Quagsire, and Milotic. So, and its list of wins is not very big, but the ones it's got are like fucking good. Like, it's just, I think it's gonna be fun to use because people just won't know what to do against it, and they'll just think, and I think because this cup seems to be like quite a few spammy Pokemon, like centralized around some spammy Pokemon. I think you're gonna get some panic shields because you just get into X's and Aqua Tail so fast. People will just think, fuck it, I just need to shield.
Also people will just get too greedy with the farming. Yeah.
And it'll just turn, like, especially with, some people won't even know what it'll have as a move. So I just think, it's one of them. I could catch some people out, and just some of the wins that it picks up, I was just like, it might lose to 80% of the meta, but the 20%, I know, but the 20% it picks up, it's just like, oh, okay, like, and then if you give it a shield advantage, then it's like, it sort of broadens it out. It's got like a 60 to 65% win rate, but like, in evens, it's shocking, but it's what it beats has sort of drawn me to it. Like I was originally going to talk about Dustox because Dustox is like one of my favourite Pokemon, and I've got that XL, and you've got the Bug Buzz coming in with the buff of extra damage, but it just doesn't seem to fit in the meta. So I was like, I need something else with a bit of a bug move, and I came across Dewott, and I was like, yeah, I love it. So yeah, that's my moment of madness.
So a water type that beats a Bomber Snow.
Yeah. I mean, only in the twos, like you have to extend both your shields.
Actually, also in the one shield, if a Bomber Snow doesn't bait.
Yeah, take off baiting, yeah.
Yeah,
and
then you outpace and hit the third access before the second energy ball.
Yeah. So I definitely think it's got a place. Like I know sometimes I pick some crazy shit, but I just think for what it beats, I just think and then you can add because I've been Latios mad with factions trying to get hold of a Latios. Like it beats them as well. Just cause. But obviously like the psychic typing on the dragons. But yeah.
But one question I still do have: why Dewott instead of, for example, Quillfish?
Because Quillfish is too meta.
he wants his spice rating over 70.
Yeah, I need to get it back up. Yeah. I mean, I like it. 69. I don't know. Like, I just like how I like Dewott. I really like it a lot.
I was just
the unknown factor is what it's got going for, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't used Quillfish that much. I've come across it a bit in Brawler, and it was a pain in the ass.
It really is.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I think with the confusion users and the psychic types, I think Quillfish could probably struggle a little bit with, because you're going to get your Hypno users and your
Bronzong, Jirachi.
Fair. Yeah, I actually forgot that these have confusion.
Yeah, so I think at least with this, you're going to manage to hit some of the psychics for either super effective or neutral.
That's definitely fair.
So yeah, I think it's going to be a fun one for me.
Yeah, I'm a big Quillfish fan, but not only the steel types, the big ones with Jirachi and Bronzong, but a Sandslash apparently Dewott beats, which is kind of surprising.
It's funny. I was surprised when I saw it as well.
Yeah, when you click on it, it just shows like the one shield wins and losses right off the bat.
Yeah.
So it's not like telling you the whole story, but it's funny how it beats Sandslash and then it loses to Zweilous. Like you'd think dealing super effective bug damage, but
that's going to be on resisting those ice punches, isn't it? Is it Bulldoze? Is Bulldoze? It's a poo move.
It's horrendous.
Terrible move. Man. It's like Bulldoze is like slightly less energy than Earthquake for like way less damage than Earthquake. It's so bad. But I think it could be, honestly, like after hearing the sort of pitch, it could be like an underrated pick, especially in the two shield scenario. That's when spammier Pokemon tend to shine.
Yeah.
When they can just keep outpacing, because like it's kind of like Vigoroth versus Skarm is what I tend to think of, where like in the 0 or 1s, Vigoroth isn't going to do so well, but because it outpaces so significantly, you're going to get to 4 body slams before they're going to get to 3 sky attacks. So it's kind of like that sort of thing where Dewott is going to get to so many X scissors before some of these Pokemon are going to get to however many moves.
Yeah.
I mean, also just talking about Bulldoze and Earthquake. Like Bulldoze is 80-60, while Earthquake is 120-65. So yeah, no, just no.
I mean, I had it in Gym Breakers the other day. My Superior against the Vigoroth, and all they had to do is get to 2 body slams and they'd have won. and they threw a bulldoze at me.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And we were like we were on stream, and I was just like, oh fuck, I'm sorry guys. And then it was
Just
like,
gifted you the 3-0.
what? They just threw. What did they just do? I was just like, okay.
Yeah. Even if bulldoze is like super effective, 2 body slams will do more than the 1 bulldoze.
Yeah, it's gotta have a certain type, hasn't it? Like a certain like the Stunfisk or something like that.
Yeah, like or Aimer.
Or AWAC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
basically, body slam kind of needs to be resisted. So you never want to throw bulldoze, but when you have to throw bulldoze. So
don't throw a bulldoze unless you have to. It's okay because Dewott doesn't learn bulldoze, so it's fine. So you can use it.
Yeah, just Aqua Tail instead.
Yeah, I mean, one of my things about chat shit is the amount of times I pick a Pokemon and no motherfucker uses it. So it's really annoying. Like, and the mad thing is, last month I spoke about Malamar, right? And now we've got Leander chatting Malamar.
Everyone's going to use it now.
Yeah, and I was just gonna be like, I was just a month too soon, god damn it. And then for pretty much every...
For Chris's pick, you were a year too soon.
Every meta is viable for, that's I do use it, because I love the friggin' thing. But yeah, enough. There's not really much more to say about Dewott. It's spammy. It picks up niche wins.
definitely.
And yeah, that's it. It's just... It's
very unique coverage.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun, but it's not like... It's definitely not something to build your team around.
I mean, I kind of wish it would have the bug subtyping sometimes, just to add some sort of step on it for Accessor and the Fury cutters.
Yeah, it would help.
Yeah.
No, and Phil's gone again. Forgiveness.
Oh no.
Oh no, what are you doing to me, bro?
Looks like we're in Germany now, where 4G something isn't even working.
Yeah, we need 5G. Get your 5G on rather than your 4G. His missus is buying too much Amazon stuff. Black Friday's over, man. It's Saturday.
I mean, Cyber Monday.
Oh, he's coming back. I heard him sigh. There we go.
That was quick.
My phone, which was hotspotting, has just died, so now I'm back on the Wi-Fi.
Oh no.
I am so sorry, Jay.
It's like you've
I think Matthew's never going to invite me ever again. It's me, not you.
Yeah, that's what she said. Right. So this next bit really fucking got to me because Crawdaunt is my boy, right?
It's been when I played Gymfreak, it's been so annoying.
Yeah, it's been snapped up, and I can't be angry because Mr. Rise to Occasion is gonna sell us Crawdaunt,
yes.
And it's not me, so therefore you all need to fucking use it because I'm gonna use it anyway. But listen to him if you want to listen to me.
All right, I looked up Crawdaunt on Bulbapedia so I could give it a great description. And Crawdaunt, this Pokemon is a primarily red crustacean with a tan underside. It has circular eyes set in deep sockets, a large star-shaped growth on its forehead. The upper and lower halves are separated by a pattern of angular red shapes. Its forelimbs have 2 large pincers with spiked edges. And okay, I'm gonna skip it. There's one part I wanted to say. It's kind of long.
I thought you were describing me for a minute there. Sorry, go on.
But basically it says, Crawdaunt is a very violent Pokemon that lives in ponds. Because of its constant challenges to battle, no other Pokemon wants to inhabit its territory, not even a swarm of Basculin. So that just tells you right there from Bulbapedia how tough this thing is. In all seriousness, though, I've been using this in No Fun Pain Dun's Radiance Cup, and it was just putting in a lot of work against teams. And looking at the meta with Snarl, Night Slash, Crabhammer, that water dark typing like we talked about, there's pretty much no viable counter user in this meta. and you look at like the top rankings, it's gonna lose pretty hard to Obama and Zweilous. But like if you can pair Crawdaunt with things around it that can take care of those top 2 meta picks, you look at everything else. Bronzong Jirachi, like Crawdaunt's just gonna spam off Night Slashes and do a crazy amount of damage. For reference, like if we look at Crawdaunt versus Jirachi, I'll pull that up on the battle simulator and PvPoke, but like Crawdaunt versus, I'm just curious how much a Night Slash does, because it does way more than you'd think. 60% from a Night Slash to Jirachi. And you get to them in 3 snarls, so like 9 turns. So you're pacing the same as like a Greedent with throwing body slams. And then you just look at like all the resistances with its typing. When you go down the rankings, Sandslash, Celio, Dugong, it's going to resist all the ice, resist all the water. Gonna have to watch out for Beedrill. Beedrill would be tough for it, but just so spammy. And here's a crazy thing I'll add to Crawdaunt is it beats Alolan Raichu in the Zero Shield. Because like, what's the only electric type you're really gonna see is probably Alolan Raichu. It beats Aichu in the Zero Shield, and if you time your moves correctly, it beats it in the 1 shield as well. It's not gonna get to 3 Night Slashes, it's gonna get Volt Switch down. But yeah, it wins the 0 straight up because the Night Slash essentially one-shots Aichu after a few snarls. And then if you time your moves correctly, you can actually get off 2 Night Slashes and win the 1 shield.
Yeah. Also, like against Jirachi, I just looked up. Crawdaunt wins the 0 to 2 shield against Jirachi if you time your snarl correctly. So
it's crazy.
Jirachi is just, it doesn't see any land. It's
Yeah. I was always a big fan of it as well. Even just like as a little kid when I would watch the main series Pokemon franchise, I always thought it was hilarious how like Ash's Corphish would beat these like Pokemon it had no business beating. His Corphish would like beat a Metagross. Yeah. And I always liked Corphish and Crawdaunt for that reason.
I mean, I've literally used this Pokemon in so many friggin' metas, and it's exactly what you said. That it beats things it shouldn't. Like, I've done it where I've beaten a gal with like I had 1 HP left, and I got the boost and managed to double Night Slash, and they shielded the first Night Slash because they're a noob, and then I've smashed through them with the powered up Night Slash, and it's just been Gym Breakers.
I hope he's watching this, Jay.
I know, yeah. In Gym Breakers, like the amount of boost I was getting, that's great.
I mean, talking about boost, if what's it called, Crawdaunt, every move you throw has a 2 times boost chance. So if you will guaranteed boost every now and then. And if you just look against, let's say Bronzong, how much like a boosted Night Slash would do then? Where is it? Attack +2, Night Slash does 72%. Which for 35 energy, like cross chop clone move, it's stupid.
Yeah, and like using it in the Radiance Cup meta, like Regirock was a very common Pokemon, and sometimes people would think like, okay, I can take 1 Crabhammer from this Crawdaunt, and then boom, like down into the red, shield 1, snarl down. And even if it's like resisted, nothing really wants to take a Crabhammer from Crawdaunt.
Yeah, no. I mean, I've been in some bad matchups with it, and even like stuff like against Amandibuzz, and like even hitting that with Crabhammer, you're just like, and then they start shield and Night Slashes because they're like, geez, that does more than you think. Like, it's just a Pokemon. And I've beaten an Abomasnow with it before as well, but I did get the boost. But like, still, you get the boost. Also, it can do anything for you.
One really cool thing, if like under normal circumstance, you actually win every eventually against Napoleon 0, 1, and 2 shield straight Night Slash without any boost or anything, which is like really cool because Napoleon will be very common.
Yeah.
in general, the ice resistance, water resistance, the psychic resistance, also dark type resistance.
I mean, it needs the resistances because it's a squishy.
Yeah, it's so frail, but it has like the perfect resistances basically for this meta. I mean, I was like a bit more of a meme look. I had at the Pokemon Star Wars Sharpedo, which is the same typing, but at that time I didn't really think of Crawdaunt. But yeah, it definitely should be like a really, really good pick.
Run both.
Yeah.
ABB.
Give me 4th shield and I'll try.
Yeah, no, I'm a big advocate of Crawdaunt. Anytime I get to talk about it in every single chat I'm in, as soon as it's viable, like I had people messaging me.
Oh, is Jay about? Yeah.
As soon as this meta dropped, I had people messaging me like, "Are you gonna use Crawdaunt?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." Like,
I wonder if this is the highest it's ever been ranked in like a Silph meta. It's ranked number 44 overall.
100%. Yeah, 100%.
It'll never be ranked higher because like.
Jay, you might not run it because it'll decrease your spice rate.
Actually, yeah, I mean, I've got to think about that, haven't I? I can't drop below 69. That'll be disappointing.
Going down on 69. Okay.
To be fair, it's only probably that highly ranked because it's our custom meta and it's not been balanced properly by Mr. PvP himself. But I'm gonna enjoy it while it lasts. I think it deserves to be in the limelight and it deserves more credit. Like people need to use it and fucking get some balls and just go, I'm gonna try it because it's worth it. And Matthew Brewer has used it before and he always advocates it as well, but he just doesn't bother using it anymore.
It sparks joy.
Yeah, too busy worrying about his rank. Telling people to run Lucario and shit like that when happy now. Crawdaunt.
Yeah.
It gets your heart racing, doesn't it, mate?
It does. I've just got so much passion for it.
Oh no, not just that. I mean, when you're in battle, you're thinking, crikey, I'm going to die soon.
Yeah.
Because the health just goes.
Yeah, it chunks. It just gets chunked by everything. Does.
I mean, also talking about like, what's it? What's it called? The animal Crawdaunt is the crabs. If you're talking about crabs, there's also like another water crab, Quagsire, which also has like very unique type coverage. Smackdown, Dark Pulse, Crab Hammer, which also can like surprise especially the ice types and such, or Beetle and or Frostless. So I mean, you could just use a few crabs in this meta.
Somehow it loses to Celio and Frostless with Smackdown.
No way.
It looks good, but it usually isn't.
It loses to Beedrill too with Smackdown.
Oh god, how glassy is it? Is it just because it's glassy?
1681 step product, so it's fairly glassy.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I think
just run Crawdaunt.
Yeah, just run Crawdaunt. There'll be someone out there that tries it. I mean, we got Rigel Starlight, Callum.
Yeah, Cal's built one, hasn't he?
Yeah, one of the first things he said was that, but obviously after he watches this, he'll be like, "Fuck, I've wasted my dust. Should have made a Crawdaunt."
Also, we may see some Mews floating around, and Crawdaunt would be another good response to that. Obviously, Wild Charge would take out like 2 Crawdaunts, so you gotta respect that. But but gonna outpace it.
And yours is also Shadow Claw.
Yeah.
It's all about the Volt Switch, innit, Jay?
Yeah, you know.
I mean, in the comment meta, Volt Switch Mew is actually really good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's why I've got Volt Switch on mine, just for the comment.
Yeah. Same currently. Although I had actually Dragon Tail in last week, because I needed Dragonite coverage on my team. So yeah, I mean, Mew is just always so insanely versatile. I'm sure we'll definitely see a few in this meta, because it can, you don't, maybe it has Flame Charge, you don't know as a Bomber Snow, maybe it has only serve Wild Charge, or like something completely different. You can have Focus Blast for the ice types, or like whatever
Dark Pulse
method
for
has.
the other sidekicks.
Yeah.
Shadow Claw.
There goes my
Dragon
elite
Claw.
charge TM then.
Oh no, I'm not wasting TMs on it. Jesus. That's painful. Yeah, I don't mind wasting fast TMs on it, but charge TMs is just... Nah.
Yeah, charge gems are a myth anyway.
I know, yeah. Yeah, you need to do 3-star raids for that, and then you're alright, but don't get them from GC anymore, just Sinnoh Stones.
Feels.
I think I like this cut because they've done very well to minimise counter, and there's a lot of things that are weak to counter. The ice types, the steel types, the dark types. I think it's going to be absolutely bizarre. You're going to have dark types everywhere, steel types everywhere, ice types everywhere. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
I mean, is there no love for dragon? I've heard people say that they're surprised that dragon's even in it.
I mean,
well, it's one of those neutral types, isn't it? That's why steel's needed, in my opinion.
I mean, on paper, dragon only loses to ice and has neutral matchups against like the water type, psychic, and poison types. But like they're getting so many like steel types added with the subtypings, and there will at least be one ice type on every single team. So I mean, dragons will see light maybe in the meta, but they will just be RPS as hell. Because if you have like your Flygon or like any other dragon on an ice type, what are you gonna do? Stolash them maybe for fun, but
yeah, well, I mean, it could be viable, but no, I've in a couple of practice battles I've done, I have tested Kingdra just because I'm an busy. Yeah, fine.
Kingdra.
you gotta run it sometimes, but yeah, I just felt when I've tried the dragons in this meta, it just felt a bit underwhelming.
Oh, talking about Octazooka, one thing that actually isn't on the custom rankings currently because it's not updated yet. Yes, lock on Octillery with Octazooka.
I know, yeah.
Oh yeah. I don't think it makes much of a difference from Mudshot.
No, probably
when I first saw it, I was like, oh man, like lock on Octazooka, Gunk Shot.
Yeah. But then you see it's just an update from 4.5 DPT to 5 DPT.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like not a lot actually, but it would still be kind of fun.
Yeah.
No, I think the meta will definitely have some quite nice players. You have your usual safe swaps with Frostlers that can always do well, or like close with Frostlers with Malamar, that's safe swap. Gyarados, not talked about yet, but Gyarados, I personally always like Gyarados in many metas. Also had it in Brawler Cup. I looked at it for slot 6 because it had potential as a safe swap against so many teams. Because on paper it was never with extra energy, but but with energy advantage you win so many CMP ties, so you can flip switch or get your shield advantages. So it's just not a hard counter meta basically. There are many soft matchups involved, and it's usually always very good metas.
For sure.
Yeah, I think a couple of things actually with like talking about move update, but like the last update with like the weather ball net, I feel like Politoed and Pelipper have really like dropped off a cliff in usage.
Finally.
I haven't really seen it, but I still think they'll have some play. There'll be some people that work. Like I saw people making it work in Brawler as well, and it's just like they just sort of got forgotten about after the damage reduction.
Yeah.
But one thing I'm looking forward to not seeing is Nidoqueen.
I mean, they did a great job with like having a very low net meta. Actually, a friend of mine, or like a German teammate, is in the meta team actually, and he was saying that they were discussing if they should ban Nidoqueen, but seeing with like Bronzong, Girachi, all the ice types, Empoleon, also Hypno being very good, they figured Nido Green will be just insanely hard to play.
Yeah.
So they opted to not ban it, which I think it's a fair move.
Oh no, yeah, like I'm sort of, in a way, I'm like hoping people bring it because I think they'll get.
It's stupidly OP.
Yeah, but I just don't think it'll work. I'm hoping it doesn't work anyway. But yeah, you never know. So yeah, cool. Any parting words, guys? Anything else that you want to talk about? Any other picks?
One last Pokemon that we didn't really mention that looks kind of interesting is Galarian Rapidash.
Yeah, just looking at it.
Kind of the only like viable fairy type in the meta, unless you want to use Mr. Mime. But
No.
I mean, Charm Galate, if also could add that role, but straight fairy type definitely Rapidash.
Yeah,
I mean,
do well against the Dragon Breath users, and
It's very spammy as well. That's another silent user in it. So.
Yeah, it's like a Body Slam.
You could surprise people with like what you want to use as that second move too, because I could see like Play Rough coming in handy sometimes, or Mega Horn against like, I don't know actually what you'd want. Maybe I guess the Steel types.
The Steel types, yeah. You're gonna get walled otherwise with Body Slam and Play Rough, aren't you?
Right, yeah.
I mean, Steel also resists Mega Horn and Psychic, so.
I was gonna say, but I think because Mega Horn's just such a nuke, it doesn't really matter that it resists it, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean,
you could run one kick on it if you're worried about the Steel types.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Make Hitmonlee great.
you hit just Swallows at Bomber Snow, you hit also the Bronzing, you resist the confusion and hit back with very hard hitting neutral Mega Horn. And I mean, there are things that wall it with like Frostlass, for example, also in Polo, it really isn't fun. But I think it will have some unique and niche play. Surprising people with the spam, especially.
Yeah, I'm sure it hits. I mean, I don't think I've ever used it.
145 attack.
Yeah, it hits hard. Like, I just know I remember facing it. Like, I think it might have been a custom meta that we've done a while ago, and I had a Crustle against it, and it was still the Body Slams even though they resisted. I was like, Jesus Christ, like, I'm gonna lose this matchup. I think it's a fun. Again, it's another spammy man, isn't it? So
yeah,
this thing's gonna be a spam fest.
That superpower of Malamar still makes it a better pick, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, seeing that so many things are just very spammy, it will for sure be a very energy management based meta, and you can. Sometimes it's just surprising how much you can do with energy management. But you can flip or get your shield advantage or like surprise the people and get panic shields and all that. So I think there will be so many plays to play out of bad matchups, most likely.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I think I can see like shield and energy management being way more important than switch advantage.
Yeah, I think so too.
Awesome. Well, cool. We'll wrap it up. Nice one. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. And
thanks, Jay.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Jay.
Cheers, guys. No worries, Phil.
And thank you to Matthew for letting you host.
Food. Yeah, nice one for letting me host, Matthew. And it was scary, but yeah, I managed it. I got through it just. But yeah, cool. Catch you some other time, guys.
Cheers, both.